Wrong. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Woman's Cave. Last time reporting live from Google Hangouts. Oh,
Shut it here for us.
so it's here last time reporting live, but it's okay. It's okay because we are moving to Zoom, you guys, and you can always catch us on YouTube or on our Blog Talk Radio if you can't catch us anywhere else.
There's always the podcast and iTunes, Stitchers, all that. And then there's a, hold on one second, gotta call. Excuse me. That's what I get for eating peanut butter with no water. But anyway, and then we also have the Roku TV channel, and you can find out how to access the Roku TV channel because we look bigger on TV.
We do.
Yes.
We do. I'll probably have more big, like bags under my eyes, but y'all forgive me for that.
Hold on. There you go. Now you can't
Oh,
see them.
there it is. What's mine? Like I put an instant concealer on. What?
Anyway, you can catch us on our Roku TV channel. You can find that information on our website at andwethought.com. It is under the the ladies find hope. I wanted to say podcast and shows, but that is where you find our podcasts and shows. Go figure.
All right, so you guys, as you know, we're the founders and co-authors of the And I Thought series and the And I Thought ladies. The And I Thought series, the series of books, well, we call them, well, they're really anthology. So sorry, guys, I know it's really academic and annoying, but it is what it is. We like poetry, we like stories, we like to get people together to do said things. That's life.
Hello.
So the And I Thought divorce was bad with other life lessons,
and we are prepared.
Bam. And I thought being grown up was easy. And I thought I could juggle it all. Only available for pre-order on Kindle, Amazon.com. And all of our books are available on Amazon.com. I'm sorry, wait a bottle. Oh, Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Please, I'm messing this up. I'm messing up the books.
No.
I'm messing up my hair. It's okay, you guys. It's the last one. Last time.
No, just put it up backwards, you guys. But whatever. It's life. I did it all the time. So whatever. Thank you.
You are so welcome. But today we still do have, as always, a wonderful
yes,
guest. Unless, of course, they cancel. And you know who canceled over the last couple of weeks.
But, sometimes that happens. But this one did not. And, we are so honored to have her because she's going to teach us how to reinvent ourselves, how to silence that inner critic, which I think we all have, that drives us to do way too much, way too fast. So would you please like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Certainly, and thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here on your last show. And you ladies are lovely.
Oh, thank you.
So sweet.
Yeah, you're lovely, and I love your books. So, yes, Susan Bremer O'Neill. I am coming to you from California today, and I have written a book myself. From sex appeal to self-appeal is my memoir, and my story and why I do what I do today, which is help women specifically, but all people build self-appeal, is that I, at one time, had none. I was the woman who you might look at and think, oh, God, she's got it all together, but I didn't. I presented a pretty package from the outside, but inside I was chaotic. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. I ate food to stuff my feelings. I ran from man to man. I worked at jobs I hated, and I screamed in my car, and I kicked holes in walls. And really, I was a pretty miserable woman. And then I became a sober woman. And it was at that time also that I was working in science. I have a degree in laser technology. So again, from the outside, I looked really good. I made straight A's in school, and it really looked like I had my whole life together. But it was after I became a sober woman that things started to change for me. And I realized all those feelings I was stuffing inside, they started to come out. And I realized that I hated my job. And at the not insistence, but at the suggestion of somebody I knew, I started being an exotic dancer. I was a stripper. Around the age of 34, 35, I began a new career. And my book is about how I had to grow myself back up and all the things that I did as this woman who had the emotional maturity of a 15-year-old. Face it, ladies, if you're addicted to drugs and alcohol, or if you're stuffing your feelings down, you don't have the responsible adult awarenesses and reasoning. And so, as you can imagine, I got myself into some pretty interesting situations. And anyway, I had to learn my own self-respect and my own self-love. And I did it because I looked inside of myself and said, hey, what's going on? And that's what I help women do today. Look inside themselves and change their lives. Basically, I was lonely. I never had a relationship that lasted more than a year. I didn't have work I enjoyed. Today, I have a wonderful man I've been married to for over 8 years. I have work I love. Yeah, I have clients I really care about. And it's just a 180 degrees. So self-appeal is what I help women build today. And yes, that means also removing that inner critic, or quieting her. We never fully get rid of her, but quieting her so that we can go for our dreams, whether they're business dreams or life dreams or relationship dreams. I help quiet the inner critic, and I help ladies love their bodies exactly as they are, their physical body, their body of thought, and their body of emotion. So that's what I do today, and I'm pretty excited. I'm a coach, author, speaker. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we're just excited to have you. Like, I know I'm especially excited. In fact, I lobbied to have you on because I thought that your story was so awesome. Because people, when they look at people, they're like, oh, ruining our sex. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, so when they look at people and they recognize that, oh, they think, oh, they have it all together. I mean, she's obviously a smart lady because she is a scientist, or she's obviously or a very pretty lady because she is an exotic dancer. So she must have all the self-confidence, or just everything is going for this lady. And to know that, yeah, you're just kind of human like the rest of us is kind of awesome.
I think
and what you do to help ladies out to recognize that, yeah, we all go through our things. We all have that inner critic in us, but they calm it down. And it'll be okay. You'll still accomplish things.
I think that's really important because society kind of makes us want to believe that what we see on the outside, what we see on TV, what we see in the movies, what we see on the magazine covers, what we read in the articles are those people, when in fact they're just nothing but PR personas. And then we try to be a PR persona that person probably actually isn't. And I thank you so much for like showing the world that, hey, you can be this person who's smart, and you can be this person who's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I have one question for you.
Certainly.
Scientist means like linear thought. It means, you know, that sort of thing. You know, you got that almost like critical thinking plays a huge role in being a scientist is what I hear. I'm a biology major, so that's what they kept telling me. But anyway, and then they have, you have exotic dancer, which is like full creative. I mean, how did you get the two to like, all right, we're going to even out and we're going to create a woman who's balanced and sane?
Wow, you know, a great question. Thank you. And yeah, first of all, I want to address what you had mentioned as far as society likes us to think that certain people are okay. And it really is about our self-image. I had somebody ask me once, I was doing a lecture at San Francisco State University, and this woman said to me, well, I mean, look at you. How can you not have confidence? And it has nothing at all to do with what we look like. And that's why I really emphasize for all women, see, you and I, we have a different skin color, our body shape may be different, but we at our core are exactly the same. And it's so important to remember that, because I have insecurities, you have insecurities. You want to be loved, I want to be loved. See, we all we're really the same. And when we can remember that, then we can embrace each other and really be that much more powerful. Now, your question about linear thought, yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh? Now remember, I had drugs and alcohol in my past, and yeah, I can do the science thing, and I can learn in books, and I studied, and I graduated with high honors both from high school and technical school. So I can apply myself, but I didn't have any heart for it. I didn't have any passion. And I think all those years of somewhat living in my head, in a sense, it was like a counteractive to become this dancer, because then I really had to come into my body. And a lot of my book writes about, goes through the experiences I had. See, I had to use my ability to question, and that's what scientists do. Scientists question, and they observe without judgment and without criticism, without shame, without guilt. And that's what I had to do when I was working in this environment, because I had to start saying, well, hey, wait a minute. Why do you not value yourself? And why are you getting yourself in this situation that could be, deadly? What's going on here? So that's when I started to come into my body more, is the fact I was sort of pushed into it. I think that I had so many of the same thoughts that young people today, because they are shown these images of what success and love is. And I had the same thoughts, right? I thought that, oh, if I looked good and I was sexy and I appealed to this person, then I would be happy and I would have love. And that's not the case at all. And so what I had to learn was like, hey, wait a minute, it doesn't matter what you want me to do or what you think of the way I look. How do I feel? And that's when I started to come into my body. And I am so fortunate, because I was kind of foolish. When I first started dancing, I had no idea. I had never been in a strip club, and I had no idea what I was getting into, and I was very naive. And then once I was working, I couldn't really go anywhere else. I mean, and I was having fun, and that's initially why I did it. It was just fun. The women, when I saw them, it was a very upscale, very safe place. The women were wearing evening gowns, and they had dresses, and their hair and their makeup was done. And I was wearing jeans and a hard hat to work like one of the boys. So I didn't have that feminine aspect. So I went into the club, and I'm prancing around, and I'm getting myself into situations that weren't very safe or healthy. And then I had to start really connecting my head and my body. And so creative, yes, and in my body. And today, I mean, my whole life has just expanded. We are not just heads, and we are not just bodies. And we get stuck in situations where maybe we're one or the other. But that ability to question, that's what I really want to emphasize, is I could have gone into that environment and continue to do foolish things and maybe spiral down. Or I could have stayed in the science environment and hated my job, and who knows? It's just what happened to me. And today, yes, I help bring women into their bodies and be more creative. We're all creative.
I was going to say,
does that answer your question?
If that's the answer you want to give, then that answers the question.
It does answer the question.
But no,
though.
it did. It did. The question about creative and logic, recognizing that it's not just the mind and then not just the body. Do you think that the reason that you questioned, I know that a scientist is to question everything, and a scientist is to look at the outcomes without like real investment into the actual like project, except for an outcome that you would that you want it to be accurate. What is wrong with my tongue today? I think it's a lack of water with the peanut butter. But anyway, I'm gonna say that it's interesting to me because I think like most of the times people go from exotic dancer to scientist or exotic dancer to anything else. They go up like this. You came what we would call in our societies, you went down. Do you think that because you were able to question it because everyone had already viewed you as being successful, that when you came down here, you brought the same kind of viewpoint, same kind of thought process to the world of exotic dancing, and we're like, I have questions.
It's interesting that you said come down in a sense, because you're right. That's what we think. We have this stereotype and we have this judgment, and I did too. Even when I went in, and the only reason I began questioning, well, it's in my nature. It's just who I am. I just question. But I had to, because see, society was telling me, and my brain was telling me that I was such a bad woman, and yeah, there must be, you know, I'm this horrible stuff going on. But fortunately, I was a sober woman, and I was older, and so the other part of me was going, well, wait a minute, you know, I'm not really hurting anyone, and I'm kind of having fun, and what's the truth? So, yeah, as I continue doing it now, let me say that for the first year, I did both jobs, and I was exhausted, so I had to make a decision. And I picked the job that I was having fun at. And then I was petrified, because what have I done, right? Now I'm just this exotic dancer woman. Who am I? And then after, say, maybe another year or 6 months, it became a job. It was just a job like any other job. But it was the only thing I knew, and it gave me the freedom to go back to school. I did that. And that's when I had to start questioning, because if I wouldn't have questioned, then I couldn't live with myself. So it's interesting, because during the day I was like this person who wore all these big baggy clothes and stayed by herself, because I'm a natural introvert. And then by night I was like, whoa, you know, I'm Vixen was my stage name, and I had to bring them together. Like we adopt a mindset through what our parents teach us and what society teaches us, and then if we're fortunate, we get to look at that, and yeah, and that's what I did, and I had to question, because I wasn't hurting anyone. And I had to rethink all that stuff I'd been telling myself, so that I could honestly talk with you today. I wrote my book, and for 2 years I didn't talk about it because I was very ashamed still. So it's been a journey, to be honest.
So let's get into that. That was a perfect segue, by the way. So let's get into your book and what you wrote on it. And yes, kudos on the segue, because we are awful at segues here. So yay!
I didn't even know I did it. You would like me to explain my book?
Yes.
Well, first of all, it took me 10 years, almost 10 years to write and publish. I had to learn how to be a better writer, but basically the first couple chapters, I wrote so that other women might pick it up and see themselves in a sense. I wrote about some universal feelings and some common threads, perhaps, of being a young woman and menstruating for the first time and having boyfriends. I dedicated it to all the lost girls and lonely women looking for love in all the wrong places and all the wrong ways, because that's what I was doing. So that's the first couple chapters, then they go fairly quickly. And then the bulk of the book is through my years as an exotic dancer. Specifically, I highlight certain events, one event in particular where I finally, it was sort of like my bottom, in a sense. It was like I woke up and I was in a hotel room with a stranger who just wanted me to dance nude and suddenly I realized, hey, wait a minute, nobody in the world knows where I am. And this guy, I mean, even though he hadn't done anything weird yet, he could overpower me and he could kill me and nobody would know. And after that, I had to start really looking at, what's going on? Why don't I treat myself better? Why don't I value my body and my life? For all those young ladies or ladies period out there who get themselves into situations that are scary. I mean, come on, you're worth so much. I was worth so much. And that wasn't the last time I did something foolish, but that was one of the episodes. And then I write about a few interesting episodes. I was I did bachelor parties for a short while. That was exhausting. And I wrote about one night doing that, and also one night in the dressing room that was quite hilarious. And as I went through these years, I was always looking for something to go beyond, to move beyond, because here I am now. I'm 40. I'm 41 years old, 42 years old, and there's a lifetime. You can't. Well, you can, but nobody wants you to keep doing this, or I didn't want to either. So then I started doing other things. I used to teach, striptease classes for women who wanted to learn how to do this for their husbands, and I moved through leaving the environment, and it's really hard to leave because somebody said to me a long time ago. The only reason you will leave when you get so tired of doing it that the money doesn't matter, because the money wasn't necessarily easy, but it was quick. It could be quick. And I got to the point where I would only work 1 or 2 days a week, just enough to pay my bills, because I was so tired. And then I moved into my marriage. I met a wonderful man and I got married. And so the book ends with some uplifting. And specifically, I want to say, too, it's an interesting journey. Sexuality is not something I ever embraced. And I certainly didn't have sex in any strip clubs. And it's my understanding and my experience that most strippers don't within those clubs. But what happened and what I write about is my awakening to my own body and sexuality in that respect, because many of us are, at least I was raised with the idea that you don't talk about it and you don't really enjoy your body. And it's different now. I'm a little older than maybe you are or your listeners, but sexuality is such a personal, valuable, precious thing. And it's not a commodity. And I learned that, and I learned more about my body. And I empowered myself to do what I want. And then I realized, hey, you know what? Anybody can have sex. I want more than sex. So then I was able to have love. And then I had to rediscover how to have a sexuality in a marriage. That's been interesting too. So
yeah, we both married. So
yeah. So
you. Oh, I'm sorry, Jade. It's your guess. Go for it.
It's okay. Well, go on.
I just wanted to ask, like, from scientist to exotic dancer, I know not all of us watching right now want to be like, I'm going to make that change, that big change. No, probably not. But can you tell us how to make a small change, or if there's a program to help us get through that step by step, that sort of thing?
Well, how to go, I'm confused. How to go from being, say, in your head to in your body? Or...
Yes. Finding you, and then finding what the new you loves to do and wants to do with the life and body that she is given.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, a shameless plug. You can always go to selfappeal.com, and I have a few programs there. I also have a DVD. And matter of fact, anyone listening, I tell you what, if you want to email me through my website or Susan@selfappeal.com, I will make you an offer to get my DVD at a significantly discounted rate. Just put the name of your show in, or that you heard me on this, and I will do that for you. But for those of you who don't want to do that, I always tell my clients that we spend 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night, and 5 minutes in the morning with your eyes closed and really thinking about going about your day and just seeing yourself in your body and realizing that you will be doing so many things automatically that you take for granted. For instance, I mean, just walking, right? Most of us are able to walk and we take that for granted. So by focusing on the beautiful things that your body does without any conscious thought, like breathing, you know, your eye can see millions of colors, all these things that we do. And then in the evening as well, 5 minutes with gratitude and sitting and breathing and feeling how magnificent you are. It does not matter what you look like. What matters is how you feel. So if you can take that 5 minutes in the morning and that 5 minutes at night just to spend with you, then you may find that you're feeling more during the day and you're connecting more with your world, sensually. And by sensually, I mean, you know, sense of smell, sight, touch. So there's a few suggestions right there.
Well, thank you so very much. And again, can you tell people where they could get your book?
And your DVD.
And your DVD.
Certainly. On my website, selfappeal.com, SELF as in Frank, APPEAL.com. Both are available. You can also watch my book trailer and click through to Amazon. It's on Amazon. You can read a little bit. You can see some reviews. Both my book and my DVD are there, and my other programs. Love Your Body, Change Your Life. Box it out with your inner critic and win for more success. Talk about being in your body. I started taking boxing because I had to start punching my own inner critic. So yeah.
Oh, didn't you love
selfappeal.com?
Did you love it?
Oh, I love boxing.
I always do kickboxing as my like workout. So I'm like, yes, I love that thing. It makes you feel powerful. And then when you look at your body, you're like, yeah, I'm sexy and I'm powerful. Don't mess with me. Right. I'm sorry. I'm a bit narcissistic.
And, yes, but as you said a shameless plug. We love shameless plugs on the show. We do it all the time. And that is my segue to shamelessly plug you guys.
Plug. See? Shameless.
And we're the founders and the co-authors of the And I Thought Ladies and the And I Thought series, which is a series of books, really just anthologies, people. Yeah, but we love them, and poems and good stories. So please check us out on Amazon.com. So here we go. And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. It's book number 1. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. Book number 2. And I Thought I Could Juggle It All. Book number 3. That is out for pre-order. So,
okay. Book number 4 is coming up in actually 5. It's coming up in October, and I Thought He Was the One. It tells you about every step of relationships, be it from marriage to finding your love and following your heart to getting it heartbroken or being left at the altar. We talk about it all. You have people who've been married for years and people who are still looking for that one. So all of that's written in there, and it's like real life stories. I love it. It's my favorite. Book number 4 is, as you know, as I said, book number 5 is a compilation of new stuff that'll help you go through your life, travel step by step, and it's open to your interpretation.
Yay! Okay, so as always, you can find your ladies on andwethought.com. Please subscribe to our channel that you're watching now, because
click that little red button right there.
Click it, yes, because we are moving to Zoom, and you might not know how to work that, and hopefully you'll visit on our website to get the links for our shows. But just in case you don't, please click and subscribe to our channel. Oh, one more thing.
I'm being polite, you guys. Did you notice?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. She decided to like money. I'm just saying.
Okay, quickly, I was just going to say that since we are moving to Zoom, you will always be able to find what we are going to talk about. At least the next 3 shows will be there, and there's a link. So if you click the link on the day and the time that's scheduled, you can then show up in the room and you can express your thoughts and or question. But please remember what we always say: your mama was right. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We appreciate that.
Yes, we really appreciate you guys for being there with us for these last couple of months. I mean, showing us out just so much love, and we thank you for it. And this is us, I guess, signing off on Google Hangouts
for the
last time. So just remember that wisdom is all around you, you guys.
If you're for the last time I messed it up. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel like
so
no.
Wisdom is all around you.
If you are open to finding it and accepting it. Peace and love, you guys, from Winona
and Jade.
Bye-bye.